Good afternoon. It is the June 20th meeting of the Board of Adjustment. It is 1:30, so we'll go ahead and convene. We are here to hear special exemptions, permits for specific land use as enumerated in the zoning code, variances, cases where literal enforcement of the zoning code regulations would cause an unnecessary or unusual hardship, oil and gas related cases, and appeals from decisions of directors. I would kindly ask that you silence all cellular phones. We have a very light dock today. Hopefully we can move forward quickly. Before we begin, I would like to thank Mark for his year of service on the board as chairman, and hopefully I can be as expeditious as you were. So,
Fun year, but I'm glad to have turned it over to you.
thank you. The first item on our agenda would be to receive the minutes of the June 6th meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Next item on our agenda is continuances, requests by the staff.
We have one today, item number 6, case number 13598 is requesting a continuance to August 1st.
Okay.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Okay. Are there any requests for continuances by members of the audience? There being none, let's hear the first case.
Item number 1, case number 13744, application for special exception of Josh Robertson to allow a mobile home to serve as a temporary second dwelling to relieve a medical hardship located at 3901 South Henney Road.
Mr. Robertson here?
Yes, sir.
Would you please approach the podium? And if you could, for purposes of the record, please state your name and address.
Josh Robertson, currently 5348 South Monty Drive, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma.
Okay. Why don't you give me a little bit of summary of your application today?
My grandpa is getting a little bit older in age, and I was trying to put a mobile home out there just to help him out with yard work and stuff of that matter.
And I can see from the application that you have met the standards outlined by staff as recommended, and that you're requesting a 3-year exemption. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. Any questions from the board members? Is there anybody that you're aware of that's protested or objected?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
I'd make a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor? Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Am I out here?
Item number 2, case number 13745, request of Tyler Signs for a variance to permit attached wall signage on a railroad bridge located at 10 North E.K. Gaylord Boulevard.
I'm going to abstain on this one.
Tony Tyler with Tyler Signs, 5101 South Shields, Oklahoma City.
Okay.
Here to answer any questions if you need for us to.
Just want to note that you were approved by the Downtown Design and Review Committee.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I see that there's already existing signage on other bridges. Why wasn't this particular bridge signage installed at an earlier date?
The ordinance does not allow for signage to be in the right-of-way, and the way this is going to be attached to the railroad, it'll be in the right-of-way. So it should just be a formality, sir.
So the previous signs, when they were installed, there were no issues and they were allowed to proceed?
Yes, sir.
And so, when were they installed, just out of curiosity? Has it been in the last year or two?
No, it's been quite some time.
They've been there quite some time, sir.
They obtained a variance at that time as well.
And is this by a private party or by the city, or who is the applicant?
By request of the downtown
Design,
district,
okay,
the Bricktown
okay,
district,
okay.
sir.
I have no objections.
Do you have any questions?
I move to approve.
Second.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
All right, Voorhees, please.
Item number 3, case number 13746, request of Iguana Asana for a variance to the streetscape and parking lot landscaping requirements located at 10100 Northwestern Avenue.
How you guys doing?
State your name and address for the record, please.
My name is Guana Asana. The address is 744 Northwest 115th Street, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma.
Jay, would you please speak to your application?
This is an application for a variance on the side of Western. The trees were required on that side, and it seems like there's a water line that goes right across that area on Western. So, excuse me. So it may not be beneficial to have trees right there. So, trying to get an exception for that.
I would ask staff, is the water line and the roots from any potential landscaping, is that an issue from the city's perspective?
Yes, the Utilities Department doesn't want any landscape, trees, shrubs within 10 feet of a non-water line.
JJ, on the staff's comments, they discuss additional landscaping could be provided elsewhere on the site to compensate for the elimination of the frontage landscaping. What's the staff's thoughts on that, if you can tell us?
Just a suggestion that if, in lieu of relieving the applicant of the frontage landscaping, that maybe they can offer to increase the landscaping on site around the building.
Yep. Do you have any problem with that?
Increasing the landscaping on the side of the building?
On Hoyt Avenue. The other thing that I notice is it appears your facility backs up to a residence.
Yeah.
Is there some sort of a barrier or fencing or landscaping that provides that residence some shielding from the daycare facility?
We're going to build an extended fence at the back of it so it separates the
So
residents.
nothing's been constructed now, but you're going to build a fence?
Yes, sir. Just bare line right now.
Is there any feedback from any of the neighbors regarding this application? Anybody come talk to you? Any of the neighbors, anybody?
No, sir.
Okay. My thinking is kind of aligned, I think, Mark, with yours, is that, we might ask for some additional landscaping there on Hoyt. And I think you want to, one of the things you want to do as a business owner who abuts a house, has a house very close, is to be sensitive to how the level of activity, light, noise, so forth and so on affects them. And that may be, either by fencing or a combination of fencing and other landscape materials, provide a reasonable buffer there.
The ordinance requires a site-proof fence and a 5-foot landscape buffer adjacent to the residence.
Adjacent to the residence, so that requirement's already in, but it's not a part of our request today. I would just go ahead and make a suggestion of where, what do we think we'd like to ask him to do on Hoyt?
I think it'd be conditional approval subject to the fence and the additional landscaping that abuts the residence and some additional landscaping on Hoyt if that's a different street, JJ.
How do we quantify it, though? So
On
we
Hoyt,
expect the
I think he can meet the ordinance requirement on Hoyt.
Okay.
It's got enough room, so it'd just be approve the variance on Western. And
So the approval of the variance on Western still gives you the landscaping on Hoyt due to the ordinance, correct?
right, now he's asking for both, so you just need to make that clear in your motion that the variance would be just on Western.
And you're comfortable with that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so moved. Okay, just so we're clear, the motion is for fencing and landscaping where the residence is located and to just approve the Western variance, is that right?
The fencing and landscaping is required by ordinance. He's not asking for relief.
So all he's asking for, all we're granting is the Western Avenue, correct?
Yes.
All right. I'll second that.
All in favor?
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Item number 4, case number 13747, a request of Hollingsworth Enterprises for a variance to allow a single-family residence encroaching the platted 25-foot front building line located at 6433 Whispering Grove Drive.
Good afternoon. Rocky Hollingsworth on behalf of the applicant, Hollingsworth Enterprises. Address is 8312 West Reno, Suite A, Oklahoma City. We inadvertently built the house about 3 foot over the setback line. Not been any objections from the homeowners that I'm aware of. Just requesting a variance.
3.1 feet into the 25-foot setback.
I just have a question, that's unrelated to your application. When these things happen, and we see them fairly regularly, is it because the survey was off, or because when they, set the foundation, or the builder, or whoever? What happens normally when these things happen?
Well, this was my fault. When I drew the site plan on the drawing, I put it as a 20-foot setback, and the folks at the city didn't catch it, I didn't catch it, and so the guy that set the foundation set it exactly the way I had it drawn.
Are there places where you build where a 20-foot setback is?
Normal, yes. Most of the other neighborhoods I build in are 20 foot, so it was just something, it was just
Just an oversight.
a goof on my part, yeah.
I have no objection to your application. I would make a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Item number 5, case number 13748, request of John Hunsucker for a variance to the minimum 3-story height requirement in the downtown business district located at 600 West Sheridan Avenue.
Hello, John Hunsucker, 1 North Hudson Avenue, Suite 700, Oklahoma City. Basically, the owner of the Hunsucker Legal Group, which is a law office. We're seeking to build a law office at this location. We actually bought this land before the Film Exchange even really started coming together, did the streetscaping before the elementary school, even before Devon. We've had this land quite a long time with the intention of doing a law office. We've requested a variance of the 3-story rule. I think it summed it up in our application, but if you look at that area, it is predominantly a 1 to 2-story area. There are only 2 3-story buildings in that district, and they're both several blocks away. Now, if you include the elementary school, it is 3 stories on the corner of Walker and Sheridan, which is the far corner. And then you've got a break. Then you have a 2-story accessory building that's on Sheridan, and then it drops down to basically a 10-foot high awning that comes out to Dewey, which would be next to my building. In front of my building is a 1-story law firm. To the west of my building is a parking lot, then a 1-story building. To the south of my building is the 1-story Better Business Bureau.
And just for purposes of the record, you were approved this had to go before the Downtown Review Committee, and you were approved this
For the
morning?
variance, we're still going back and forth on design issues, but they did approve the variance.
From the 3-story requirement?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
And I'll be honest, there was one objection from one property owner that sent somebody that actually has a 1-story building. They intend to build a 3 stories later on, but they only have a 1-story building now. They had posed an objection.
Are there anyone in the audience that is objecting to this? I don't see anyone.
I make a motion to approve. Second.
You, sir, are approved. Thank you.
Thank you.
There being no other business, I will entertain a motion for adjournment.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Okay.